Current day coach Simon Goodwin is living the entire football experience in his first year as senior coach. From, I imagine, the traumatic lows of having a young player stricken with cancer to the events of Saturday night and the breakthrough win, that moment of coming of age.
Demons are all smiles, and it might be just a season-defining win.
That is the best performance by any team this year.
They're unsociable. They're a midfield that is built to win a premiership.
It's a massive win for that group. I reckon that is a changing of the guard type of win.
A true benchmark of sustained effort and that classic coming of age.
They found a way to win, and I think probably their best win in the last 10 years.
That is unbelievable!
Probably the most impressive winners on the weekend for mine were the Demons.
Impressive doesn't do it justice, to be brutally honest.
This is a huge win on the road in a big game. Love to live it.
Simon Goodwin, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me.
We'll do the nitty-gritty of football shortly, but there's obviously more at play at the moment. How is Jesse Hogan after his surgery?
Yeah, look, he's come through surgery really well, and you know, it's obviously a really traumatic time for not only Jesse but the footy club. It was a lot of shock last week with the news, and once we gathered all the information about the process moving forward and the positivity of, you know, when you hear the word cancer, you think the worst. But when you go through getting all the information and the best case scenario, you know, Jesse's health is in good shape, and the operation went extremely well.
Have you spoken to him in the last 24 hours?
I've texted him,
yep.
But I haven't heard back from him yet. I'll see him over the next couple of days, but just to give him a bit of space and obviously deal with the operation and get through it. But I saw him at the VFL on Sunday before his operation. He's in great spirits, really positive, and looking forward to really getting back to good health, but also getting back to playing some footy.
You told him at the airport on Friday. Was it a decision for you to decide when you told the players?
Probably had some discussions with Josh Marnie and some people at the footy club about when to tell the players. And with Jesse, we felt Jesse wanted the players to know his situation, and we certainly didn't want to go through the weekend not telling the public the truth, but Jesse wanted to get through the weekend, get his operation, get all the information on the table, and telling the players was really difficult because you know, he's a great mate of a lot of people, and they were feeling for him. You know, it was an emotional time for the team.
We had Geordie on last night, and he spoke about what it meant to be told and then go out and play, and it wasn't let's do it for Jesse, but he said there was an environment where one of our players is sick at the moment, he's not here, let's play for him, let's put a really good effort in. So he's proud of what we put out there tonight. Do you think among your strategies and all that sort of stuff it played a role in the mindset of the players?
It's hard to say, Robbo, but what I do know about this group is they're very close and they're very tight, and they feel for one another and they care for one another. And when you see Jesse going through what he's been through in the last period of time, I think all the players just feel so fortunate for what they're able to do, and that's to play the game they love. And
the answer is yes.
Yeah, and in some ways, ultimately, you know, if that lifts their spirits and makes them play a little bit harder, then you know, we'll benefit from it on the weekend.
So there's no manual for a coach in a moment like that. Is when you first hear, what do you go through? There's obviously the man himself, and then there's the team and holding everybody together. Yeah,
probably when I first got the phone call from the doctor, I was just in shock myself. You know, when you hear the word cancer for a 22-year-old, you just can't help but feel life's unfair. So I didn't get a lot of sleep, and you know, going through that process. But once we settled down and got all the information and worked out the best way to tell the team and the best way for Jesse to move forward, the best way to release it to the public, you know, I think the club's done a terrific job.
He's a 22-year-old and he's gone through a hell of a lot in the last month and a bit.
Yeah, he has. You know, at 22 to have the passing of your father, to go through the emotions of that, which was a really difficult period for him over a long period of time. You know, he knew the prognosis for a fair period, and to deal with that and also to be able to prepare and play footy and live your life as a 22-year-old is a really, you know, troubling time. So you've done an incredible job, and then you know, you get through that grieving process over a couple of weeks, and then you get the news yourself. You know, he's being really resilient with his outlook. You know, he's very positive.
So footy's a big part of his life. So to get back to his life when he's ready, what does football represent to him? How do you bring him back to it, welcome him back to it, not pressure him to get back to it?
We give him space. You know, footy will be a part of Jesse's life when he wants it to be a part of his life. You know, he loves being around the footy club. He loves training, and you know, in his conversations on Sunday, he's looking forward to getting back in training and being involved in footy again. So he's very positive that way, and I think he just loves playing the game. And when the time's right and when he wants to get back, that's when we'll bring him back.
We get on to the game?
Yep.
Well done. Hey, we're all talking about one of the great games, one of the great performances of Melbourne over many years. As coach, can you allow yourself to indulge yourself in that game for 1 day, 2 days, or do you have to say, well done boys, let's get in the plane, go home, we've got a big game this weekend?
It's great for our belief of our footy club that the pathway that we're on is the right one, and that's what you can take out of the result like that. It was the boys played the game in a certain way and a way that we've been training our players to play.
Which was what, Goody?
Oh, we're trying to build our team from the contest out, Robbo, and we haven't shied away from that with a real pressurised and ruthless tackling approach, and they put that on show at the Adelaide Oval on Saturday night. So it was a small step in our pathway to become the team that we want to become, and I think with that grows belief and confidence that they are capable of playing a certain way.
Is it fair to say a small step? I mean, you've gone to Adelaide, 4 down, that's goals, you win by 40, hostile crowd. I'm going to say hostile, you know the environment, you played there for nearly 300 games. We always ask coaches, rate your wins, rate your wins. When they are that great, do they become standard bearer games, a game that you can always refer to, or they just get lost?
I said to the players on Monday that we've set a new benchmark for ourselves, a new standard, a new expectation of what we need to deliver, and they enjoyed playing that way. And when you start to love playing a certain way and you love getting the results that we got, you set a new standard. So that's our new standard of how we want to play now. Will we be able to play to that every week? Potentially not. But I think we'll look back at that game and say, we've just established a new standard of how we want to play the game. Were
you at all impatient for it? Because there have been signs that this is coming, and you know, the talk about one bad quarter. Jordan said he knows what it looks like, and you got this, but just not that. Was it were you desperate for it to come? Yeah, we were. We were frustrated that, we've been in games all year. We've been in front in the last quarters, and we've played a similar style in a number of games and haven't quite got the result through a number of different factors. So we're desperate to string 4 quarters together and and really start to emerge as a team that can play a good brand of footy and
ruthless footy, Goody.
Yeah,
it's a word that's in the never at Melbourne this year, isn't it? The word ruthless.
We want to play a really strong brand of footy around the ball, Robbo, and that's how we've trained our players up. So if you're training your players up, you want to actually see it, and we've got the players that are capable of doing it, and they're playing the right way.
What's the coaching challenge been like without a ruckman, essentially? Not to discredit what Cam Pedersen is doing, because somebody has to fill the void, but you've had the All-Australian ruckman and then the backup, who was the man most likely. Are you coaching the ears off them to get around it?
Yeah, we didn't see it as a real negative. What we saw was an opportunity to grow our team. And obviously Cam coming in the ruck, and Tom McDonald's played some ruck, and Jack Watts, but we also knew that we could develop a new skill set with our midfielders underneath, being able to read the opposition hand, craft their players and really develop a new skill set, which I think is really important in the game. So, they've been pretty blessed in the last couple of years with Max, the delivery that they've got from him. But to have that skill set now and to know that they're capable of it gives our team great flexibility moving forward.
Did you detect a change in Jordan after the 3 weeks suspension? Because as that period went on, and he sat here with us every Tuesday, I think by the 3rd Tuesday, we were detecting that he had let the team down and he had felt it by the end. Have you detected any change, or...?
You could definitely see as the time went on through the suspension, he was getting more frustrated that we weren't getting results and he wasn't being out there to do what he was brought to the club to do. And since he's been back, he's just been outstanding. His leadership, he's continued to help our leaders grow individually. and he continues to bring the team together and play the game a certain way. So he's been a brilliant acquisition of the footy club.
Did you know he walked up to Rory Sloane at the start of the game last week? Did you notice that sort of stuff?
No, I missed that, but I knew a lot of our players were ready to play, and obviously wanted to help Bernie out in his 200th.
Right.
Good to watch, mate. It was sensational.
It was. All right, you're here to help us. We've got the great honour of launching a new campaign, a joint venture between Foxtel and the AFL Coaches Association called Thanks Coach. It's the Thanks Coach campaign as the AFL coaches look to lead the giving of thanks to the unsung grassroots coaches.
There's someone out there we need to thank.
Thanks for the players who know how to kick.
For making them tough as nails.
For the men who can fly.
And the women who changed the game forever.
To all the local coaches who shape the players,
who shape the game,
we want to say thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
And the first man being thanked is Ron Verma. Ron, welcome to AFL 360.
Thanks, Jared.
And Simon has extra reason to thank you because you coached from under-9s through under-16s, a couple of the players who are some of his mainstays now.
Yeah, had Angus Brayshaw and Kristen Salem and had Jaden Hunt for a year.
So you developed Jaden Hunt, not Goody and Brendan.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so Goody told me I did, yeah.
Thanks, Ron.
At where? At what footy club?
At Hampton Rovers. So, yeah, Bayside local club.
Yeah, I know, I'm the VAFA.
Yeah, yeah, you would know him from your North Olbo's days.
We way down there. How's this campaign? What do you get out of it?
So you've had a day with Simon, is that right?
I spent a morning with Melbourne Footy Club a couple of weeks ago and met Simon and reacquainted myself with the boys, and yeah, it was a really great experience, and just watching what they go through at that level. So yeah.
How does it aid you as a coach, though? I mean, you can enjoy the day, but you got to go back. What do you get out of it, and what do you pass on?
Oh, look, I suppose for me it's just basically, having the experience of being able to coach those boys and now watching them at this level, and that's the joy I get out of it, and sort of just taking it back and bringing it back to the basics, really. And it's not just about those three; it's about the 21 that we had. And the pleasurable thing is that most of them are still involved in the footy club, and the good ones obviously got drafted. So it's been a great experience, and I just take back the pleasure of being able to coach them through their junior years and watching them play at the moment. So it's been fantastic.
You must be all right at it.
Yeah, it was. It was funny when Ron came out to the training session and we stood around with the boys and had a good chat after. The respect that you could see that they had for Ron and what he did for them through their junior years, and they could share the stories, they could remember, the drills and what they were doing, and I think it's just fantastic for grassroots footy. I've got a lad at Ashburton under 10s, and I know Pete Martin and Justin Reid to be watching, and to them I say thank you, because what they have to put up with my son when they're playing at under 10s is incredible.
You care about your players because you've got them now. You watch them grow up as kids to teenagers. When you read a story and you know the story of Angus Brayshaw and his head knocks, how does that make you feel?
Oh, look, there's concern, but after hearing what I heard today, that everything's going to be okay. I mean, Angus has always been a kid that's just follows the footy and that. But
did you ever have to tell him to stop going in so hard? Was there worrying moments as a junior?
Oh, not really. I mean, he always hunted the footy, and we played him in various positions through his junior career just to try and develop his skill set, being through the back line, midfield and forward. So, not really, but he's that sort of player. As Goody would probably tell you that he's straight ahead.
Coachable.
How do you
Is that what they call him?
Yeah, very coachable.
How do you look after him from here?
We just give him time to heal. We've got a meeting tomorrow around Angus and really mapping out his plan. We will tailor his program differently to the other players and really work on some strength exercises. And there's a lot of great studies that have come out in recent times around concussion about what you can do, but we need to get him back to full health first. So we'll give him some time to really settle down. That might be 2 weeks, it might be 3, but we will tailor his program to get him back to full footy.
Simon, good of you to come in. Perfect timing, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jared.
And Ron, it's great to meet you.
Thank you.
Good luck coaching back in the suburbs and the kids who are coming through. Ron Verma.
Good on you, Ronnie.
So foxtel.com.au /thanks coach is the campaign that's been launched. One other